Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up.
Here we go.
I'm Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. We are live in Charlotte, North Carolina, the home of the Hornets. And, of course, Precious Achiuwa. This is their first game without him.
And as shocked as people are that they would trade away a player of his caliber, they didn't just let him go for nothing. I mean, they got a lot in return. I think it's a deal that's going to really help them down the road.
And Stephen Curry with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Miami with the ball. Here's Kamara. 6 on the shot clock. And a wide open look for Claxton. Well, both these teams, of course, Greg, strong and rebounding. Should be a battle out there.
Nothing easy in the paint, Kevin. Both front courts will be fighting for every possession when they miss.
Here's Curry. Here's Capella. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Here's Wade. And he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Looking at the Hornets, Greg, they're still in pursuit of their first trip to the NBA Finals.
And, Kevin, I hope it happens soon because their fan base deserves it. They've stuck with this team through some difficult years. It's about time they get rewarded.
And there are so many reasons to be a fan of Wade's. This young man's ceiling is sky high.
In the corner, it's Rodman. Screen by Capella. The shot by George, wide open. That's a miss. He's made one and missed one. Tatum drives in. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
And you get the sense Tatum is used to getting hit when he's penetrating inside. It almost seems as if he embraces those challenges.
Now, here's Ball. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Charlotte moving the ball around. Curry fires from way outside. Lets a floater go. Ball surveying the defense. And a wide open look for Capella. The three-pointer off the mark. And it's the Heat on the break. Tatum with it. And Curry picks him up defensively.
And it's going to take more than that to stop Tatum. A wing who can score in so many different ways.
Pass to George. The three. Knocks down the three ball. George has got 5 points so far.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
Well, he's going to just keep going now. That's early confidence for him.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. At this point in his career, Paul George says he's in bully mode. He said Every night I'm on the floor, I'm there to dominate. Whether it's being more physical or going right at whoever I got to go at, you're going to feel me. I'm having that approach every time. I'm there to destroy you.
Love it, though, D.A. Got to admit it. Awful powerful. Thank you. Back to Tatum. And it's Jason Tatum with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
The Hornets trail.
And you watch Jason Tatum, year to year, he is a model of consistency. Across the board, the numbers are pretty similar, and the effort never went out.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two. With so many years in the NBA, you would think Curry would slow down, wouldn't you, Brent? But he remains at the very top of his game.
I think the best part about what we're seeing with Steph right now, Kevin, is his competitive will. You get to this age, and you get to this stage after accomplishing all the things that Steph has done, and it's still not enough. So let's keep enjoying him while we can.
The Heat have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
Now, here's George. 5 points in the game. Outside, ball. Back to George. From downtown, it's hauled in by Claxton. The Heat with the lead. Here's McDaniels. Offline with his three. Pass to Capella. Curry on the wing. Screen by Capella. Let's go. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
So Steph Curry, the best shooter in the world, is open and has the ball? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Get there.
And Wade slams it in. Guys back and forth this first half.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
And timeout is called by Charles Lee. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. The Heat making a switch here. There's 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Outside, ball. Pass to Porter. Fades back. That shot, no good. Exum with it. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Wade. He drops it in from the low post. Wade's got 8 points.
Dude, that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
The coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
Wayne Wade, he's been the guy making things happen.
12.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, you don't see that all that often, getting down there and doing that much damage in a quarter. You got to respect the game plan.
Pass to Exum, beyond the arc, and Bull pulls it down. Hornets trailed by 3. McBride with the ball. Cranes the three-pointer. McBride's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
And it's Strus missing.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And Brent, if the super team era is indeed coming to a close, The Miami Heat were one of the most successful examples.
Yeah, Kevin, you're obviously referring to the Heatles with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. I think there are some fans out there that go back to when it was that they had that press conference and were throwing up 6, 7, 8. And so 2 titles, yes, of course, amazing. Chances to win championships, amazing. Could there have been more? Possibly.
Now McBride trying to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Loads it up for Williamson. Paul George with the steal. Here's the drive, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Nice play, George creating for others, just manufacturing some points.
Here's Wade. That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
And timeout is called by Charles Lee. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about.
Substitution on the court.
And so it's Ball who brings the ball up for the Charlotte Hornets. It's a 3-point game. Outside Curry. Nice pass in here by Charlotte. Clock at 6. And there's the call on Curry. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his 2nd foul, but not the end of the world. 1 more before halftime, though. That would change some things.
The Heat leading by 3. Pass to Tatum. Shoots over Rodman. Alvarado. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Alvarado's got his first basket. It feels like every season, Brent, we set a record for pace in the NBA. Why do you think that is?
Well, I don't know, Kevin, if it's every team that's seeking pace, although in every coach's press conference you'll hear about them talking about playing faster and wanting to get out in transition. But that's where you take advantages of defenses most. Look, if you got a young team, open up the floodgates and let them run. Probably more success coming your way.
Stolen by LeVert. And here's the fast break. Paul leading the way. Here's Capella. It's rebounded by Hartenstein.
And that was almost a block. Still did enough to alter the shot.
Yeah, altering the shot, just as long as there's a miss, that kind of energy not wasted.
You know, Greg, one thing you notice, we're just talking about this with the Hornets in recent years, a lot of changing lineups.
And you expect that with the team, with where they're at. They're looking for any advantage game to game and trying to build that identity as a franchise.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Pass the ball. Fires from deep. Nailed from three-point land.
And they're hitting the long-range shots that they were missing in the first quarter, but still have ground to make up.
Alvarado bounce pass. Right side Tatum. Now Alvarado. Shot clock at 6. Tries to save it. He's looking for Hartenstein and finds him. From 20 feet out. A shot by McDaniels. No good.
Well, he's a guy that count on to produce from the mid-range. He doesn't miss too many open looks from there.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Miami.
Right away, they showed us they weren't going to shy away from the mid-range game, and it's proven to be an effective tool for them.
And getting to the inside is really important, but it's how close you can get to the basket. It feels like these guys are all around the rim in their attack tonight.
Here's Miami now. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And the basket by Wade.
Oh, big scoring night for Wade. Many more of these to come.
Curry looking it over. Pass to Bol. Outside, Ball. Charlotte needs to get a shot. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. "36 seconds left in the first half of basketball.
Right here.
Pass to McDaniels. Lets it go with the three. It's rebounded by Charlotte. And here we go. George heading to the hoop.
We always talk about the first two steps in transition and Paul George out quick and decisively that time.
It's tipped and stolen by Bol. Curry on the wing. There's the triple. It's hauled in by Claxton. And they're pushing it up. Fires the three. He can't hit that one. And timeout is called by Charles Lee. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Tie game here in Charlotte. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Here's Wade. Pass to Exum. This one for three. Takes the three. Nice D from Barrett. And here's Curry, who brings it up for Charlotte. And many around the league believe Curry doesn't get enough fouls called in his favor. G.A., what do you think?
There could be some truth to that. He gets held and grabbed more than anyone running off screens, but especially late on drives to the rim.
Got a piece of George with the steal. And then George with the jam.
Well, not only looking at Paul George get up, look at the guys on the bench loving it for PG.
Here's Wade. It falls for the sixth time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Well, just ripping through right there as he finds the open spot and gets right through there. High basketball IQ play.
Here's Curry. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. 5 on the clock. Another shot. Rock up 2 there. Curry's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Okay, good game plan. Start the second half. 3 of 4 so far from the field.
Pass to Exum. Back to Wade. Now here's Exum. Now Tatum. He's covered by Ball. Tatum using his size inside.
Excellent job finishing on the inside. Tatum doesn't fear going in amongst the trees.
George with the ball. Oh, and he almost had a 4-point play right there. He'll go to the line with a chance for 3.
First team foul.
It goes on Jason Tatum. This is his second trip to the line in this one. It is incredible that George is playing, Brent, at such a high level after his injury history is taken into account.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, one of the more horrific injuries in terms of the way it presented itself and what we saw Paul George go through. But this guy has not missed a beat. He continues to be really the most stable part of any organization that he's joined, and he's been in a few places. That has not affected the way that he's approached the game on both ends of the floor, and is certainly still one of the top 15 players in the game. No way he's going to pass that shot up. The D is way too far back and relaxed in getting out on it.
Ball from long range. It's hauled in by the Heat. Wade can't hit. Hornets leading by 3. Pass to Curry. Screen by Capella. High post try. Curry can't get it to go. Tatum on the wing. He's got 7. That falls. Nice speed that time from Dwayne Wade.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy. So it's both teams making substitutions here. A tight game here in Charlotte. We've got 1:55 left to play here in the third. Now, here's ball. Pass to Porter. Launches it. And it's Williamson with the rebound. It's deflected. Porter with the steal. And Barrett gets it to go. Barrett's got his first 2 points of the night.
Now, one of the keys to Barrett's game is he's got to play tough.
One thing you can pretty much count on with the Heat, Brent Barry, they're going to grind it out.
This team has always been built around tenacity and toughness. Even with the big three, with LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh, there was a bit of a metamorphosis with the way LeBron approached games. Kind of being hated on was something they embraced, and that culture demands that hustle accountability and will consistently be about their culture.
Good ball movement here by Miami. Wade left side. It's stolen by Rodman. And here's the fast break. Rodman leading the way. Here's Barrett. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Rodman. And now an 8-point Charlotte lead. Down low. Deflects the pass. Porter with the steal. Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. For Charlotte, they have been excellent at the free throw line here today. A flawless 6 for 6.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Hornets leading by 9. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the third. Here's McBride, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. McBride's got his third basket of the night right there. Strus in the corner. It's stolen by Barrett. Inside, McBride lays it up off the glass. McBride's got the lead up to 13 now for the Hornets.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Well, I know they don't have mobile devices out there for texting, so they might as well talk to one another.
Good on the second free throw.
3 shots.
And he nails the third.
Makes it pretty tough on the defense. Who you're going to pick to send to the free throw line? And he's hitting the free throws right now. Form looks good.
And so it's the Charlotte Hornets with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break.
The Heat, 34.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. And he commits the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're... fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. There was no hesitating. He wants to talk to the team right now. Both teams deciding to change it up. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Eric Spoelstra coaching the team during the break. Now, he said, come on, can anybody make a three? We have to be better from deep. explore this team to find the shooters, get them open with movement and picks. See if it works. Guys.
Thank you, David. Deep two from Ball. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
Pass to Kamare. And here's Exum. 5 to shoot. Here's Wade. Takes it inside. And then Wade slams it in.
And it looks like this is where Wade's at his best. Moving, playing downhill.
Outside Curry. Kicks it out to Rodman. Can't nail the jumper. The Heat trail by 8. Wade outside. Screen by Claxton. Over Rodman. Claxton no good. And here are the Hornets now. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That'll be the middle game of their 5 and their longest homestand of the year. Outside, Rodman. In the corner, Bull with it. Buries it down low. Bull's got his first basket of the night.
Yeah, inside, Bull does a great job just making subtle adjustments and utilizing that length.
And here's Wade. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Exum. From past the arc. The shot that time, not on target. Excellent D there from Ball. Curry getting it done inside.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Here's Wade to the left side wing. Good on the three-point shot.
That's one of the best three-point shooters. You got to try to scramble the Jets right here and get that guy off the sweet spot.
Rodman goes in. And the jam by Dennis Rodman.
You see right there, that is why everybody is still very high on Lonzo Ball. Has a sixth sense for when to dish it. Yeah, can't see why he missed that one there. The D's close, but like plenty of room.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Hornets.
Their fast break plays have seemed unstoppable. They just keep finding ways to overrun the defense here in transition.
Something else I've seen from them in this game is just how quick they are to capitalize on a turnover. I mean, they're pouncing on that stuff. You got to be careful when you're handling the ball around them.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Got to fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
A nice shot by Exum.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be guarding him. Ridiculous lapse there defensively.
Screen by Capella. And here's George for 3. The Heat trail by 10. Here's Exum. And finished off by Exum.
That's nice vision there. You see that pass, you make the feed before the defense has a chance to react, and that opens up a much better opportunity to score.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Screen by Capella. Back to George. On its way from Curry for 2. And it's Miami with the rebound. Stolen by Ball. They get a hand on it to the paint. And here's George for 3. They get the rebound. And it's good. 2 points. And the Hornets lead by 10.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Hornets.
And it may be a comfortable win for him, but, you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, and that's all part of the story.
Yeah, Kevin, this was by no means the runaway that it might appear to be. It was a scrappy performance, though, all the way through.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still, 2 more to go in the season series.
And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for George.
It looked like a couple times they might be wearing him down, but not the case. At the offensive end, he was just devastating.
Rodman sets a screen. Curry outside. Bangs home the trifecta.
I mean, just so easy for Curry to get that 3 off. Beautiful shot.
And so it's the Hornets taking care.